Hello, ladies. Today I just wanted to make a video. This is more of like a serious tone video here, but hopefully it will help somebody to recognize the signs early on before before you feel like entrapped in the situation. So, today I just want to talk about how abusers will oftentimes they show red flags and warnings, how they will tend to test the waters before they actually strike and, commit the act of abuse. So this is a sensitive topic, and, I just see it so much on the internet. It's sickening. There's so many guys out there. There's quite a bit of potential abusers out there. You just have to keep your guard up. And I say that one of the best defenses is against that is time. And, as Coach Rod and Tony Gaskins would both say, keeping your legs closed. I mean, I really love those videos. They're very helpful because they give a man's perspective, but in the dating arena. But I would just say from, personal experience as well, I just want to give the ladies' side of, this equation here. Now, in my experience, a potential abuser moves way too fast. They want to, I knew this guy maybe 3 weeks, and he was already talking about how he had deep feelings for me. He claimed he was in love, but he would only say it through text messages. And I had only met this guy. I've known him for about 3 weeks, and he was talking about how he wanted to move in and live with me after 3 weeks. Okay, that's a huge red flag. Huge red flag right there. And so, really don't let anyone rush you. That is your first defense against an abuser. Don't let anyone rush you into any situation that you're not comfortable with, or that you're not ready for, or that you have questions or doubts about. Do not allow anyone to rush you. That's a red flag, okay? And most likely they do not have good intentions if they need to rush you, because a man with bad intentions knows that time is his enemy. He knows that with time, his intentions and his true nature, his character will be revealed. So time is, the playboy's enemy. I'm just going to say that. I don't want to say the other word, but you guys know what I mean. Time is the playboy's enemy. All right? And he knows that with time, his true nature is going to play out. You can't hide it for too long. You cannot keep up a charade forever. Even the most narcissistic types of, abusers, they're going to show, these types of guys are going to show their character. They're going to slip up at some point, And so, oftentimes abusers will test the waters before they actually put their hands on you. So I've read so many stories, online, women who are married to these types of guys. They were so charming at first. That's another sign to look for. The guy's very charming. The Bible says that, charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting. But, for the purposes of this video, I'm focusing on the charm is deceptive. And, there's so much wisdom in that book. I would really recommend people to at least read the Proverbs. There's just so much wisdom in that book, especially, and throughout the Bible, but really, especially the Proverbs. They're very easy to understand, even if you're not familiar with, Bible terminology and phrases. But I would recommend to start with Proverbs. But yes, I have dealt with a lot of charming men and overly charming men. And I'm not saying they should not have any flair or any interesting quality to their personality, but a man who's excessively charming, a man who's excessively anything, excessively nice, excessively whatever, he's trying to overcompensate. Usually he's trying to overcompensate for another quality he's trying to hide. So, beware of men who are excessive by nature in any aspect. That should be a red flag. Excessive anything, excessive generosity to overcompensate for something that is most likely the opposite of what he is portraying. So yes, a man, for example, I was once talking to for just a really short time. He was excessively funny. He told a lot of jokes. He was hilarious. Like every other sentence was a joke. And to me, that was a red flag in itself. And I know a lot of people would not see it that way. But, he just seemed like too great and amazing of a guy. I was like, there's no way this is real. I was like, he is hiding something. And sure enough, when I blocked him because I just did not feel comfortable with the way he was like busting out jokes every other second, I blocked him. And then, he turned out to be like a narc. He kept trying to contact me even after I blocked him. And, eventually he got the hint. But yeah, I'm just glad I did not take that any further. But yeah, just be aware of these signs, ladies. Like guys who are abusers are often, and not always, nothing's foolproof, but a lot of times they will exhibit traits and signs, that you should not let slip under your radar. They will try to pass off, abusing you as a joke, like to see how you'll, take that behavior, how you'll tolerate that. Like, and they'll try to be like, play it off. That's one thing too. Abusers will say something directly to your face and they'll try to play it off like it was a joke or like they didn't mean it, but they totally meant it. Now, oftentimes that the truth is often thinly veiled with a joke. So you just have to know that there's truth to a lot of jokes. So if a man is joking about putting his hands on you, what he's doing is testing the waters to see how you will accept and tolerate that behavior in the future. And another thing just that I've learned is that you never really want to tell a man what you allowed other men previously to get away with, because they're thinking already, oh, she accepted this behavior in the past, then she'll let me get away with it again. So be careful what you tell, man, a prospective date, what happened in your previous relationships. You really don't want to share that much detail about what really went down. Like if you were abused in the past, or if you were, God forbid, if anything, if you were assaulted or violated, you do not really want to share that with a man, that you cannot trust, because a lot of them, some of them, will use that against you and try to employ the same behavior and tactics against you at a future date. So, yeah, you got to be careful of, really be mindful of the information you're sharing and giving out, because some of these guys will use that against the woman they're dating at a future date. So really just wanted to say, just be careful when guys are testing, not guys in general, but abusers, when they are testing the waters. Sometimes they might, physically hurt you and try to play it off as a joke or as if it was an accident. They might do small things at first. They're not going to outright, typically they're not going to outright just punch you in the face one day. They're going to try to do something small and try to work their way up to, the grand event of abuse. And so, if somebody, I read a story where this guy accidentally threw something at his girlfriend, or he didn't accidentally, he actually threw something at her and he claimed it was a joke. But she said, looking back in retrospect, it was priming. It was desensitizing her to the actual abuse that he was planning to do to her later on down the road. So, if a guy disrespects you in any way and tries to play it off as a joke, that should be a red flag. If a guy throws something at you, if he shoves you, you might think, oh, that's not really that bad. It's just a push. He didn't actually hit me. Wrong. Very wrong. Just because he didn't, forcefully do something like a push or a shove is still unacceptable, and you need to get yourself out of that situation, please, and don't look back. No hesitation. And even if a guy throws things around or near you, throws things at a wall to get your attention or to startle you, to make you feel insecure or unsafe, that it should be a warning sign and a threat. That's actually a threat. That's threatening behavior. And you, excuse me, at that point, I would no longer feel safe. So if a man jokes about putting his hands on you, hypothetically, if a man pushes you, trips you, shoves you, throws things at the wall, or, near you to scare you, to get a reaction out of you, please believe that that man has abusive tendencies, and please remove yourself from that situation and don't look back. Okay, because all of these things are really testing the waters. If a man says something to you and you find it highly disturbing to the point where you can't let it go and you just keep thinking about what he said, that's a red flag right there, okay? A man should not say things to disturb you, to, torment, your mind where it's lingering and you keep thinking about what he said and you try to brush it off like he was just, he didn't mean that. No, he said exactly what he was feeling inside. The Bible says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So at some point, he's going to reveal his true intentions and his true plans for you. It's going to come right out of his mouth. He's going to say it. So, just believe it if you hear it. All right? Don't live in denial. Don't give someone the benefit of the doubt, after they have already started talking crazy. All doubt has been removed at that point, okay? Just ladies, proceed with caution, please. In dating especially. Move slowly and wisely, and in my opinion, and from my personal experience, it's in your best interest to, abstain and be celibate. And, I know there's a lot of gurus out there teaching men that if a woman doesn't, give it up by the third date, that they need to ditch her. But ladies, if that's the case, with you and you haven't given it up yet and the guy ditches you, he just did you a favor, okay, ladies? But it's just a lot more of a challenge to see the red flags if you're, sleeping with a guy. I mean, I have dated guys for up to 6 months before they really said something that I found to be unacceptable. So, I mean, and, I was not intimate with these men. It just takes that long sometimes that some of these guys say all the right things. That's another red flag. Like, a guy says all the right things, you should be, that should set off some questions in your mind at least. Like, oh, he says all the right things. Like, he just knows exactly what to say in every situation. I'm like, I don't know about this. Okay, you're a little bit too charming here. But yeah, ladies, it really does take that long sometimes to really know if a guy, like, for a man to reveal who he truly is. And, as Tony Gaskins said, that's one of my favorite channels, by the way. He says that, when you first meet a man, you're meeting his representative. You're not really meeting the true him. So, keep that in mind when dating, that's, that you may not necessarily be meeting the true guy. Like, I've dated men that it took about 6 months before they really showed, who they are and let their guard down. And like, I was always shocked. And I was like, what? I've been myself the entire time from the beginning. But, it just takes a lot of time. Time is your friend here, ladies. Time is your friend. Yeah, ladies, so don't let anyone rush you, especially when, during dating, you're supposed to be vetting someone. And so, it's not to your advantage to allow someone to rush you into something that you're not ready for, you're not comfortable with. And yeah, and don't convince yourself that you are comfortable with something or that you're ready for something prematurely, when deep inside you're really not ready for that next step, whatever that might be. So yeah, if someone is rushing you into something, it's generally to their benefit, not for your benefit. So just keep that in mind, everyone. And yeah, just be safe out there, everybody. Guard your hearts and take things slowly and watch. Listen to what the person is saying to you, but also watch their actions. Thank you, like, and subscribe.